What's good, everybody? My name is Kalen, joined by my co-host, as always, Luke or Ray Swag, and this is the Huddle Break Podcast. How you doing today, Ray?
What's going on, everybody? I'm ready to get into these interesting coaching decisions.
Yes, sir. We got a lot to talk about today. We're gonna start it off by talking about these head coach openings,
Let's
and
let's announce the breaking one.
oh yeah, as we're recording, literally about to press play or start, the Texans just fired David Culley after one season. So we're gonna talk about all the openings, if we think it was a good fire or not, whatever. But Yeah, then after that, we're going to jump into our playoff power rankings. We're going to rank all 14 teams in the order we think they will be going into the playoffs. And we're going to end the show off with our wild card weekend predictions. Anything else you want to fit in there, Ray? Talk about real quick?
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. This is gonna be a cool playoffs. This is gonna be fun to see what happens, man. It's gonna be one of the better playoffs in years, I think.
Yeah, I think it's really competitive. And I think there's from 1 to 10, I think like the top 10 teams could all take it this year or make a Super Bowl appearance at the very least. There's like four teams that I don't see it, but actually, maybe not even four, maybe like two teams I don't see in there. But
hmm
yeah, very excited. Let's go ahead and jump right into our first topic, the head coach openings and what good fits. So let's just go right into it. The Vikings fired Mike Zimmer. The Jags, of course, earlier in the season fired Urban Meyer. The Bears fired Matt Nagy. The Dolphins fired Brian Flores. The Giants fired Joe Judge. The Broncos fired Vic Fangio. The Texans fired David Coley, and the Raiders early in the season fired John Gruden. So, I'm gonna start it off with the Vikings. I do like the Mike Zimmer fire because this is what I think is one of the most talented offenses in the NFL, and I genuinely can't see how that team isn't successful. They need to bolster up their defense. I mean, they have a middle of the pack defense, and there's no excuse for them not to have a top five offense with Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, the rising star in KJ Osborne, and then Kirk Cousins, who he's not like a top 7, 8, 9 quarterback, but he is up there. He's good enough for them to have a top offense. So I think they should fill their coaching hole with Byron Leftwich. He's a great coaching mind. He'd be going from one of the most talented offenses into another talented offense, and I think that he could take this Vikings team from a middle of the pack offense and make that talent a top five offense in the NFL. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, well, yeah, I definitely like Byron Leftwich to Minnesota. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think Doug Peterson is another one that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense there. I mean, this isn't really a coaching thing, but I mean, personally, I think they should move off Kirk Cousins. And I don't think people are talking about this, but I think the Vikings targeting Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, or Deshaun Watson would make a lot of sense. They already have one of the best offenses in the league and solid defensive pieces. So I definitely like Byron Leftwich going there, and I think I completely agree with that. Actually,
Yeah, I think he'd be a really good fit. And Kirk may not be. He's obviously no Aaron Rodgers, no Russell Wilson, no Deshaun Watson, but he isn't bad. I feel like he's probably. I mean, I said earlier in the season that I think he's one of the most underrated players in the NFL, and I still believe that. He is really efficient. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's just inconsistent, and that could be a coaching issue. I mean, I guess we just have to see with this, if the Vikings turnover, see if they stick with Kirk Cousins or not. But what's one of those coaching voids that you think would fill, and who would fill it well?
so I like the Bears job. I think the Bears job is really intriguing, and I think bringing somebody in with a lot of stabilization, who's sort of been there, done that, won a Super Bowl, and I really like Doug Peterson to the Bears. You have Justin Fields there, who's looking very promising, and I think bringing in an offensive mind who knows clearly, well respected, knows what he's doing, and Doug Peterson, I think that could be an interesting thing. Another thing I'd look out for here is Brian Flores. Maybe get a high-powered offensive coordinator, but bringing in Brian Flores, who shocking got fired from Miami. I think that would be really interesting to stabilize an already elite defense. Um, and sort of when you think of Bears, you think of elite defense. So I think bringing Brian Flores in there would be a great hire as well for Chicago.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I think they need to bring an offensive guy into Chicago. I do like Doug Peterson. I could see Brian Flores. I think a really good fit for the Bears would be Nathaniel Hackett, the OC from the
Hmm.
Packers.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I mean, they've had a top 10 NFL offense the last 2 years. They went to the NFC Championship last year, and they're the Super Bowl favorites right now in terms of betting, and they're looking like the best team in the NFL. Obviously, they have Aaron Rodgers, who's the MVP, or a top two quarterback in the NFL at the very least, as well as Devontae Adams, who's a top two wide receiver in the NFL at the very least, which is helpful. But I think if Justin Fields can get a good offensive-minded coach under, at the neck of the team, then the Bears already have the defense there, like we said, or like you said, sorry. They have the defense. They just need a good offensive-minded coach that can really use Justin Fields and this Bears offense correctly, and that team could definitely, be one of the top teams in the NFL in my opinion. But I'm with you on the Bears needing to fill that spot. Doug Peterson would be a good fit, Nathaniel Hackett, and yeah, Brian Flores too. What's another coaching void you want to fill?
Yeah, another interesting one I definitely would look at here, and maybe one that a lot of people like aren't necessarily thinking of, but I really do think the Jags are intriguing. They've definitely had some good like here's the Jags problem, right? They need to fire their general manager. That's who they need to fire. I don't know how that guy is still there.
Yeah,
But it's intriguing just for the fact they got Trevor Lawrence, and you're talking about one of the best arm talents that we've seen come out of college. So I think the Jags job is intriguing. I could definitely see Byron Leftwich going there, especially because he already lives in Florida
and he
with
played there
Tampa. Oh, did he? Oh, that's right. He did play there. I forgot about that.
way back in the day.
Um, yeah. I remember watching some of his games. But the one that I think that maybe you were going to talk about this, my bad, but I think Denver job is unbelievably intriguing.
Oh yeah.
Um, I mean, outside of a quarterback, are they not a top five roster in the
Oh,
league?
I mean, they are.
I mean, it's
It's the
insane.
most appealing job besides I think maybe the Bears.
Oh,
Um,
I'd say more than the Bears, personally. Although the division, so there is
yeah,
that.
that's a big part of it.
They're in
Um,
really tough division.
and I think it's like most appealing like Bears, Broncos, Vikings, and
Yeah, for sure.
but yeah, I don't know, man. For the Broncos, like I just don't know what they need because they're like people. What do you think of Drew Lock? Do you think he's like the guy for them, or do you think they
I
should
don't think
just
he's the guy.
redraft?
I think he's like a decent quarter. He's okay for a backup. He's a pretty good backup. I think they need Deshaun Watson on that team. I think Watson on that team would be really good.
Well, yeah, that's easy to say. 'Cause Deshaun Watson, when he was playing, he was a top three quarterback every single year of his career. And so obviously adding him to any team's gonna make them a good team or
Right.
above average. But I mean, like, what's truly attainable this year through a draft? There's not many QBs that you'd want, and they don't even have that great of a pick because of their 7-9 record, I think. So I don't know. I think they're in kind of like a rough spot, but right now, like at the beginning of the season, if they went with a quarterback or at 12 instead of PS2 or Patrick Surtain, I think they would have been in better shape because they could have grabbed Mac Jones. Um, but also if they take Mac Jones there, who knows if he'd been as good as he was this year with the Pats. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because I feel like the quarterback is the most important position.
Right.
It's really important, and they just don't have that. So if they can make a good head coach move and get a good quarterback, then they're going to be in good shape, and that division's going to be crazy. But the last team I kind of want to touch on was the Giants. Going into the season, I saw a TikTok the other day of it was a Cowboys page, of course, showing all the people who said the Giants were going to win the division this year. And I've kind of forgot about that because of that offense that they created with Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Kenny Golladay, Darius Slayton, Evan Ingram. Like it's got potential. Kenny Golladay is like a good player. Like what he even have a touchdown this year? I don't think he did.
I believe he had one early in the season. I
And
think.
it's like if you put a good head coach in that and can like really guide Daniel Jones, maybe help him with his turnovers and fix that offense, that Giants team is close to being good too. They have a powerhouse of an offense that is waiting to explode. I mean, they were stuck with Jason Garrett, who got fired midseason, rightfully, and then Joe Judge, who got fired, postseason, completely rightfully, and they just looked lost every Sunday. I mean, it was just one of the worst offenses in the NFL, probably the worst, I would say, besides maybe the Jags. But yeah, I think a good spot for Brian Flores would be on that Giants team. I think he would be a good fit for them. Personally, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he could be a good fit. I mean, they just needed to get rid of Gettleman and Judge, and I think they did the right thing.
Yeah, they definitely
So
cleaned house.
yeah, I definitely think they did the right thing.
All right, well, let's move on. We talked about the coaches position. I mean, you really can't. It's so hard because you just have no idea, who's going where. And the NFL execs always pick differently than what we think is right, so it's kind of hard to judge and whatever. But we're gonna move into the playoff power rankings, 1 through 14. We're gonna start it off with 14 through 11. Ray, do you want to lead us off?
Let's do it. 14 to 11. So number 14, Philadelphia Eagles. All right.
Wow.
13, Oakland Raiders.
Wow.
12, Pittsburgh Steelers. And 11, New England Patriots. There you go.
Dang. So you have the Patriots way down there.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Cheers.
All right. I've got Steelers at 14, Eagles at 13, Raiders at 12, and Bengals at 11. Which
Interesting.
I know. Okay, here's my thing with the Bengals. I think they're really one-dimensional. I mean, they can win games through Joe Mixon, against bad teams, really. But if Jamar Chase gets shut down, that team's not doing anything. Like this year, I mean, the T Higgins game, where he had like 200 and whatever yards, 201 yards, I think. Like Jamar Chase still had 110 or something. It's just and I just don't think that they're at the caliber of most of these other top teams in the NFL and in the playoffs. They first of all finished this season with the easiest strength of schedule in the NFL. They were ranked 32nd of 32 teams. They had the easiest schedule, and I'm not high on them. I think they're really one-dimensional. They're inconsistent. And I think that they could even possibly lose to the Raiders on Saturday.
That's wild. Man. we are polar opposites on that take.
Oh, you must have Bengals way up there somewhere. That's
Oh my goodness.
Well, let's get into it. Why are you so high on the Bengals?
Well, I disagree that they're one-dimensional. I think they can air it out. I think they can run it with Joe Mixon. Their weakness is definitely their offensive line, but they also have the most over-the-top big play touchdowns in the NFL with 21 this season. Second most is the Packers at 17. So they're really good. I'm not really sure how the strength of schedule, I don't know how that works because the Browns aren't horrible. They played the Browns and then they also beat the Chiefs. So I'm not sure how the strength of schedule argument
it's based
works.
off of like at the end of the season where the teams they beat or played ranked. So
okay. Well, all I know is
they played like the Jags, the Lions,
they beat the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are what most people would say is the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, but that doesn't. This is account for all 17 games rather than one.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like, I'm just talking about if I think they're good in the playoffs or not. Like the Bengals, like they beat the Chiefs 2 weeks ago. Like they're clearly like a top. Like, for me, they're a top team in the AFC. A big reason that is they beat the Chiefs. So yeah, I love the Bengals. I think they're going to do great. I predicted them being in the playoffs. People called me crazy. People wanted me to, shut down, but I didn't. I kept going, and I think the Bengals are going to crush the Raiders. I absolutely love Bengals plus 5.5. I've already bet it.
See, the thing for me is like they're just so inconsistent. Like, yeah, they'll beat the Chiefs, and then 2 weeks before that, they put up 15 against the Broncos,
who have a good, very, very good defense.
Yeah, I know, but like they just looked so flat. They couldn't.
I mean, the Chiefs almost lost to the Broncos last week. I mean, if that's your litmus test,
I was moving. I didn't get to watch the game, so I didn't even know it was a close game.
I mean, the Broncos led the whole game, and they should have won. They fumbled at the 1 yard line. The Chiefs returned it for a touchdown.
Interesting. Well,
But
yeah,
anyway, but I
but
digress. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely would say I don't
I
know. I
just
definitely have them beating the Raiders minimum.
I'm just not sold on it, man. But they yeah. But anyways, let's talk about the strength schedule thing that we got into a little bit. But yeah, they did beat the Chiefs. But besides the Chiefs, the only other playoffs teams they played were the Niners, who they lost to, and the Packers, who they lost to. The rest of
Last second
their
field goal. Last second field goal, by the way.
a bunch of missed field goals. That game was hell. They like 4 or 5 teams. It was an overtime. Like they had missed like 4 or 5 field goals. Both teams going into the like they were kicking field goals left and right.
Yeah, and they
Just
beat the
kept missing
Steelers
them.
twice, who are also in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, my bad, my bad. You're right. You're right. I forgot about the Steelers because they just I didn't watch last week, so
Oh, you
it
missed the
sucked.
Chargers Raiders game?
I missed everything because
Oh
I
my
was moving.
goodness.
I didn't have a
Yeah.
TV. I didn't have internet. I didn't have anything. So
Wow.
that whole last week, I knew nothing about it. So
Gotcha.
like I literally just yeah. I can't even believe the Steelers still made the playoffs and the Colts missed and like I mean think about how
Yeah.
bad the Colts had to play the last 2 weeks,
They
losing to
lost to
the
the
Raiders
Raiders. Oh my
and
goodness, bro.
Jags. Like oh, and I'm sick, so it's just like nothing's going right for me
I'm
there.
sorry about that.
But yeah, if I probably sound congested, but well, yeah. So yeah, you're 14. We had the same three, and then I had Bengals. You had Pats. I have Pats pretty close, so I'm not gonna get into that too much. But let's go on. You do your 10-6 real quick.
All right, 10-6. Here we go. Number 10, I've got the Buffalo Bills. Number 9, Arizona Cardinals. Number 8, Dallas Cowboys. Number 7, Los Angeles Rams. And number 6, San Francisco 49ers.
Okay, we're pretty similar.
Okay.
I think we have the same 5 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, we don't. No, we don't. I have Pats in mine, and you don't. You have the Cowboys. So or sorry. I have the Pats in mind, and you had the Cowboys. I'm sorry, I just misspoke. But yeah, so I mean, I like it. I have Bills at 10 as well. I have Pats at 9, Niners at 8, Rams at 7, Cards at 6. So I got the whole NFC West right in the order of I think how they are. I think the Cards are the better team than the Rams, honestly. Even without D-Hop, I think that Matthew Stafford is substantially worse than Kyler Murray, and that's what's gonna let the Cardinals win this Monday night. But we agree. I mean, they're just kind of flopped in orders, and you have the Cowboys in there, which I completely understand
Mm-hmm.
why you believe that because just like why I have the Bengals low, the Cowboys have shown a lot of inconsistency, and I can understand why people doubt them. But I something that people don't think about is that 4 of the 5 Cowboys losses were 4 of the top 10 most viewed NFL games this season. So
Wow.
because so many people watch the losses, I think that people overrate the Cowboys, like or underrate the Cowboys because all their losses are so public and so they get the most views. So everyone talks about them. There's so much traction, and it's so much more public, like in terms of rating teams. So
Huh.
I think that contributes to why the Cowboys are kind of being underrated. I had them at like 5 or 6 with the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals, Rams, and Cowboys, those 3 NFC teams, are all kind of in that 5, 6, 7 area, and you can kind of jumble them up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we agree for the most part. Do you want to do your 5-1?
Yeah. 5-1. Here we go. All right. At number 5, I've got the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 4, I got the Bucks. 3, I got the Chiefs. 2, I got the Titans, and 1, I got the Packers.
Wow, so you got the Titans too with Derrick
I
Henry
do.
coming back. Oh man, I hope not. I do not care to see the Titans in the playoffs. Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
look, my reasoning is they beat the Chiefs when they were healthy. They beat the Chiefs 27-3. Now,
Oh, I
granted, the
know.
Chiefs
Yeah.
Chiefs have gotten a lot better, but I still have no reason to think the Titans aren't the best team right now in the AFC with the Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. They should be right because they were literally winning games consistently without Derrick Henry, and now they've got the
And if they
former
play, the game will be in Nashville. So
yeah, and they get the former OPOY back. Yeah, we're just kind of mixed up again. I got 5 Cowboys, 4 Titans, 3 Bucks, 2 Chiefs, 1 Packers. Um, I don't know, man. There's just something about the Titans and the teams above them. I put Bucks and Chiefs above them. Those 2 teams in the playoffs, I just have them higher. Patrick Mahomes in AFC playoffs has been fantastic. Even in his one loss, he's 5-1 against AFC teams in the playoffs. It was against Tom Brady in 2019. He put up like 40 something for the loss. If I remember, I think it was 47 or 42. Um, but yeah, so like he's just phenomenal. Come playoff time, Mahomes is unstoppable. Uh, and then for the Bucks, it's Tom Brady. I've just got to give him that like nod over the Titans and that team. But I mean, we obviously agree on the Packers. With David Bakhtiari coming back, Zadarius Smith, Jair Alexander, all set to return in the playoffs. I don't see how people are going to beat this Packers team. They're gonna.
Yeah,
It's just it. I mean, if they don't win the Super Bowl this year, I would. I would. I mean, it'd be a letdown from any
yeah. No,
anyone.
I agree. I think it's definitely Super Bowl bust for him. At
But
very least, get to the Super Bowl.
yeah, I see Packers as the NFC, but I could see any team from the AFC making it. I could see Chiefs,
Yeah,
Titans.
I mean,
Uh, yeah. Well,
I
except the
agree. No,
except the Steelers.
yeah.
Every
For me,
team.
honestly, I kind of feel like there's 3 teams that are kind of better than everybody else right now. I see the Packers, Titans, and Chiefs kind of at another echelon. That's sort of how I see it right now. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard with the Bucks losing so many people.
Yeah.
It's hard to give them that nod, but it is Tom Brady, and he has just this next element in the playoffs, where he just performs, man.
Yeah.
He's
Let
his
me just.
team. He wills his team to win.
Yo, and this is on the fly. We didn't discuss this. You know what I want to do though?
What?
And you tell me if we have time or not. I wanna pick the games like we're gonna do, but I also want to pick the whole playoffs.
Sure,
Let's do it.
sure. I have the playoff bracket pulled up, so I can just screenshot it and send it to you, so we can
Cool.
go through it. But yeah, I just screenshotted it.
I think
Everyone
that'd
have
be
to hear
fun.
that.
I want to do it.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that once we're done with our predictions. So
Live podcast.
yeah. So yeah, let's move on though. That's our top 14 rankings. They were pretty similar. A few teams, if you switched,
What
my
was your top 3 again? Sorry.
it was Packers, Chiefs, Bucks.
Oh, you Bucks won. Wow.
Oh, sorry, no. It was that reversed order. It was
Oh yeah,
Bucks,
yeah.
Chiefs,
Bucks. Yeah,
Packers.
yeah. Okay, cool.
So but yeah, that was our top 14. Let's move on to our wild card weekend predictions, but first we got to talk about last week. Your predictions for the end of the regular season, Ray, you went 171, 99, and 1. You went 8-8 8-8 last week. It's not your best week.
Okay.
I went 10-6.
Nice.
Which
Good job.
which means I beat you by 5 games for the year. I went
Let's
176,
go.
94, and 1. But if we start counting playoffs, you could catch up and you could take it back. If we pick every other team opposite, which I have 3 underdogs in my picks, so we very well could. Um, but yeah, let's get right into the first game. Raiders at Bengals, Ray. I used to kind of touched on it a little bit
Raiders
earlier. Where's
at
it going?
Bengals. Raiders at Bengals, man. This is gonna be tough, dude. This is a tough one, but because the Raiders, man, they got magic, but I think their magic runs out, dude. I love Bengals -5.5, and I'm gonna say Bengals get the win here.
Well, they actually matched up earlier in the season. Um, we forgot about this when we were talking about it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the Bengals won 32-13.
Wow.
So, a casual NFL consumer might think, oh, they're gonna smash them again. Someone like me, I did a deep dive. Score of that game was 16-13 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And it ended 32-13. Pretty much what happened in that game was the Raiders had a very good chance to win until Derek Carr had a complete meltdown. The Bengals scored with about 5 minutes left. I think there was a little more than 5 minutes, like 5 minutes, 5 seconds, like that. And in the very next play, Derek Carr just threw an interception right away. The Bengals scored. Derek Carr got the ball back, and he got strip sacked. and they just kicked a field goal. Game was over. So I'm gonna call the upset. I think that Derek Carr and the Raiders can win this game. If Derek Carr can stay composed, it's his first ever playoff game. He's getting old, man. People are starting to doubt him and his potential. They think he's just going to be an 8-8 QB forever. I think he's got to win this game for his sake and his own legacy. Like more pressure than ever. 28-27. Give me the Raiders money line.
Wow.
I'm taking them. I'm taking them
That's
to upset the
crazy.
Bengals at home in Cincinnati.
That's crazy.
You gotta
That
remember,
actually happened.
they're coming off two huge wins against the Chargers and Colts, knocking both of them out of the playoffs.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Those are two teams that everyone thought would be in the playoffs, and they knocked them both out of it pretty
Agreed.
much. So they're also on a 4-win streak right now. So
There you go.
I think they're gonna come in streaking and take the dub, man. What was your score prediction for that game?
I didn't have a score prediction, man. I just love Bengals minus 5.5. So you can say like 28-21 or something like that.
Okay. I like it. Let's move on to the next one. We got Patset Bills, their third matchup of the year. It's gonna be in Buffalo. It's gonna be about 10 degrees with no crazy weather concerns. We're just getting going, right?
I'll tell you what, man. You talk about pressure. Josh Allen needs to win this game, bro.
Oh yeah.
People had the Bills having Super Bowl aspirations at the beginning of the year. It's great they won their division, but man, they got to win this game against the Pats, dude. At home against them, against the freaking GOAT coach. What's it? It's the line's 4. I'm gonna say Bills win 31-28, but I really am leaning towards Patriots +4 spread. But I'll say Bills win in a close one.
Yeah, so we both in our top 14 or our power rankings for the playoffs, we both had Bills at 10. So
I had him at 9.
Oh, you had them at 9?
I had Patriots 10.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, I mean we're both kind of low on them. And I think that's justified considering that their record after having the third easiest strength of schedule in the NFL this year. They definitely should have performed better, especially with the high aspirations and what everyone thought they were going to be. But I'm gonna stick with the Pats. Both teams won.
Yeah.
Both teams won in the opponent's stadium. Bills won in Foxborough. Pats won in Buffalo. So I think the Pats win this one. I'll take Pats money line 24-16. It's gonna be a low scoring, kind of fought out game on Saturday night.
And honestly, I feel like the Bills are one of those teams where they're boom or bust. Like I could see them going to the Super Bowl, and I could also see them losing by 20-10 to the Patriots. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, you really don't know what you're gonna get. They come out and they'll lose to the Jaguars one week, and then or the 2 weeks before they beat the Chiefs by 30. But yeah, let's move on to the next game. Should be a decent game, I guess. We got Eagles at Bucks on Sunday at noon or at 1 p.m. for people on the East Coast. What are your thoughts on this game, Ray?
Yeah, dude, this one's gonna be interesting. And by that I mean won't be interesting at all. The Bucks are gonna blow them the frick out. I love Bucks minus 8.5. That's what I've got it here. I don't think the Eagles make it close. Maybe they make it a bit interesting. I know they had that game earlier and the Eagles came back at the end, but I don't think the Bucks will let that happen in the playoffs. And I'm taking Tom Brady all day at home in the playoffs. I love Bucks minus 8.5 and give me the Bucks win.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take Brady. Like, you can't not take Brady, especially against a team that beat him in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, come on, man.
He's gonna win this game. However, that game was what 28-22 earlier in the season. The Bucks were up 28-7 late in the third, and I think they kind of took their foot off the gas. And the Eagles scored twice, got a 2-point conversion. It made it look closer than it actually was. However, the Bucks had Godwin and AB and Fournette for that game, and this game they don't have any of those guys, and they've got a limited Mike Evans. So
Wait, no Fournette this weekend?
Fournette's on IR.
Pretty sure he's coming back this weekend.
Oh, is he?
I'm almost positive that's the reason they put him on IR, so he can activate him for the playoffs.
Well,
Let me look.
Yeah.
Look. Yeah, Fournette's practicing, seems good shape, ready to play.
Perfect. Okay.
Levante David back as well.
All right. Yeah. I did. Yeah. Haven't been paying attention to football. Oh, okay. No, it's because I look at DraftKings and they're on IR. I didn't even know that, so I just didn't see the news. But he's
Gotcha.
like,
I mean,
he's still popping up as IR on DraftKings. So
he
that's what
may
I
still be
saw.
on IR, but they're going to activate him then a day before the
That
game.
makes sense. Okay, but I haven't seen any tweets about that. But regardless, they're missing AB, Godwin, and they're gonna have a limited Mike Evans. Um, I obviously think the Bucks will win this game, but I think it'll be close again. I like Eagles plus 8.5 just because I think that it's going to be kept close because Brady's not going to have his targets. Even his backup targets are kind of injured up. What's his name?
Perryman?
Yeah, Perriman. He practiced limited on Wednesday, and yeah, I mean if he's thrown to a limited Mike Evans, limited Perriman, Cecil Grayson is doubtful for the game. He's just got nobody besides Gronk and Evans, which for any other team, you're like, oh, what the hell? But I don't know. I think they're going to win. I think they'll be okay, but I think it's going to be like a closer game. So give me like 27-21 Bucks.
It honestly could be a little bit like that Washington versus Tampa wildcard game from last year, if you remember.
Yeah. That was the closest anyone came to beating the Bucks.
Right. That was the funny part.
So,
Taylor Heineke played better than anybody.
yeah, so I mean, I could see it being like that again, but I do believe Tom Brady will pull out a W. But let's move on past this game to what will be the biggest win of the week. Cowboys hosting the 49ers. I am predicting complete annihilation. 42-24 Cowboys. What do you think, Ray?
Complete annihilation.
Complete
So right
annihilation.
now, I see it as Niners +3 is the spread.
Yeah,
if it gets to 3.5, because this will be a close game, I guarantee you. This will not be a blowout. I love Niners +3.5. I'm taking Niners +3 right now. And I believe the Niners will beat the Cowboys. Niners will defeat the Cowboys. They're a more complete team playing at the top of their game, and they're playing better right now. I've got Niners winning this one.
That haters are my motivators.
Dude, I'm not. Dude, I swear I'm not hating. The Niners are actually playing insane right now.
I would be hateful too.
Oh my god!
If my team wasn't in the playoffs, I understand. Don't worry, I understand.
Dude, I'll probably be rooting for the Cowboys with my dad. My dad likes the Cowboys. I just freaking.
Cowboys are winning this game by almost 20. I would say 3 touchdowns is a fair estimate. Dak is better than Jimmy G and Trey Lance. Our receiving core is better. Our running backs are better. The tight end position, debatable. Dalton Schultz is just up there with Kittle, I swear. Better O-line and much better defense. Period.
I don't know about that.
You don't think we have a better defense?
I think I don't know.
Oh man, come on.
I don't know if you have a better overall defense. You got some nice players for sure.
That's what the Niners have. Niners have some nice players, and the Cowboys have better players.
I don't know.
Highest scoring defense in the NFL right now.
You guys are in the NFC East, brother.
Okay.
Bro, I'm not. You guys are 6-5 against everyone who's not in the NFC East, bro. Come on.
Yeah, we've also had 2 games stolen from us.
Okay, sure. All right.
That's true. Like that Raiders game on Thanksgiving, you're gonna tell me that was not just complete hogwash? Did you watch?
What?
The Raiders game on Thanksgiving?
Did I watch it? Yeah, I did watch that game.
Dude, that was like DPI every single. They would just throw. Derek Carr got 6 DPI penalties, just throwing it downfield.
No, that was definitely a ref ball for sure.
And then the game against the Bucks, where Godwin completely pushed off, and then caught a touchdown and put them in field goal range. Like, dude, you and that's the thing. I hate the fact that they even exist. So many teams can say this shit. Oops, shouldn't curse, my bad. But like it's just like one play completely altering the ending of a game, and it's completely determined by a referee. It just drives me crazy. Hopefully there's none of that in the playoffs, because I think I would have a mental breakdown. But let's move on. We got Steelers at Chiefs. I'm also expecting complete annihilation here. Big Ben is expecting complete annihilation here. Uh, give me 37-14 Chiefs. They're gonna cover 12.5, I think. What do you think,
Interesting.
Ray?
Yeah, I've got it at 13. Obviously, 12 and a half is even better. I do like that. I do like that. I think the Steelers, I think there's an outside chance the Steelers make it interesting, but I definitely think Chiefs winning by 2 touchdowns is a safe bet. Um, I got Chiefs winning this one, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, dude, did you see the quotes from Big Ben? Like he doesn't even think they have a chance. He's like,
Oh yeah,
we're probably 20-point underdogs. We're just gonna go out there and have fun. We probably don't even have a chance. I don't know if he's like trying to like psych the Chiefs
I
out and
know,
make them
right?
overconfident, or like what his goal is. But like that is like some weird like for his possible last game in the
Most
NFL.
likely, yeah.
Like you really go with that mindset? It's kind of weird.
That's funny.
But let's move on to the last game of the week, the Monday night football game. We got Cardinals at Rams. Ray, who's taking this one?
Dude, this is one where I'm going back and forth so much, man. But in the end, I'm gonna make it a little like I did Bills Patriots. I've have it at plus. I like Cardinals +4 is what I have it at right now. I think that's a good bet. However, I'm going to go with the Rams. I think Rams win it on a like a field goal type game, maybe even an overtime. I just think the Rams have the better pieces right now. We'll see. You're right. Stafford has not played well. Most interceptions in the NFL, looking a lot like the carbon copy of Jameis Winston. But I'm gonna say the Rams equal one out here
Yeah, I could see it. This is probably the closest game of the week, I
for
think.
sure. For
Um,
sure.
I just could see it going either way. And I think both these teams are very good, and I think it'll just come down to QB play. Last time they matched up, Kyler got outplayed. He played really bad. He had 340 passing yards, but he had 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. Um, the time before that, Kyler outplayed Matt Stafford. So I think it really just comes down to which Kyler we get today. Do we get the one that's going to turn the ball over and not create big plays, or are we going to get the one that creates huge plays and doesn't turn the ball over? So I think if Kyler comes out slinging, the Cardinals should take this game pretty easily. They could probably win by a touchdown or even maybe two if he's playing at his highest potential. Especially if Matthew Stafford comes out and turns the ball over twice, like he has the last like 4 games in a row or something. I mean, he's just not been playing well. So give me Cardinals. I think I'm gonna call it 31-24 Cards in a kind of a if the Cardinals take the lead early, it's like 31-14 and the Rams make it look a little closer. But let's move on to you wanted to predict the whole brackets, right?
I did.
Okay. So let's start with the AFC. You'd have that would mean that you would have Chiefs versus Bills. Who's winning that game?
Chiefs and Bills, man. I'm just gonna run through it, man. I gotta go with the Chiefs here, dude.
Okay. I agree. I'd be with you. I would have Chiefs Pats. I think the Chiefs win that game as well. So, we both have Chiefs going on to the AFC Championship. Let's go to the bottom half of the bracket. It's going to be Titans at Bengals for you.
Yeah, I'm
Or
gonna go with the
Bengal.
upset.
Yeah, sorry, Bengals at Titans, but upset
Yep, I'm
still.
gonna go the upset and say Bengals win the game.
I would have to disagree. I think Titans be the team that they have to play. I think they've got a free second round. They pretty much got a free trip to the AFC Championship. Um, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be a Chiefs Titans AFC Championship. Uh, let's move on to the NFC. We both picked Bucks. You picked 49ers. Who's winning that game?
Bucks Niners, man. I think this will be a really really good game. It's an insanely good game. I could definitely see the Niners winning, but I'm gonna say the Bucks win.
Yeah, I agree. I would. I mean, I think if the Niners do win, I think they'd be streaking so hard that they might actually beat the Bucks. Um, here I'm gonna. Here's my take. If the Niners beat the Cowboys, they're gonna beat the Bucks too and go to the NFC Championship. Because they're gonna be streaking. They're gonna be playing their best ball. But if the Cowboys win, I think the Bucks win that game.
Interesting.
I don't know, man. It's so hard. The NFC is so close. The AFC for
Yeah, it
me
is.
is like not that close, but then the NFC, it's like all these teams, like they're so close. Yeah. Yeah, so for me, You know what? Nah, I'm going with the Cowboys. You got me. You got me. Nah. Yeah. The Cowboys NFC Championship. Write that down. Yeah, you got me, man. Yo, what you thinking? All right. You pick Rams. Rams, Packers next week. Who you taking?
Rams Packers, man. It's gonna be a good one, dude. I can't go against Green Bay though. Green Bay's locked in.
I agree. I think either team that comes out of that game is going to lose the Packers. I have a feeling we're going to be picking them all the way up to the Super Bowl because, I mean, unless it's my Cowboys, I'm not going to pick against them because there's just no reason to. But they look like the best team in football, and it doesn't even seem that close. We've been saying that for almost 6-7 weeks now. So yeah, so Packers versus Bucks for you. You're taking Packers. Or you taking Bucks?
Packers, Bucks, man. Oh, this is gonna be rough, dude. I'm taking Bucks. Let's do it.
Okay, so the Bucks are going to the Super Bowl for you.
Yep, I had him predicted from the beginning, and I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay, so you have the opportunity to remake last year's Super Bowl. It's Chiefs Bengals in your AFC Championship. Who's going to the bowl?
Man, that's a good point. That's true. That was last year's Super Bowl. So I guess in that case, there's nothing else but to do but to put the Bengals in the Super Bowl, baby. Joe Burrow versus Tom Brady, passing of the torch.
So you got the Bengals playing the Bucks in the Super Bowl.
I could see it. I'm envisioning it right now, bro. Bengals Bucks.
Okay. I'm gonna have my Cowboys going to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Upsetting the Packers after upsetting the Bucks.
Boom.
And they're gonna be playing the Chiefs.
What a Super Bowl that would be.
As underdogs once again, and they're gonna upset the Chiefs and win the chip. Take it all.
And I've what?
Who's winning between the Bengals and the Bucks?
Like I said, passing of the torch, baby. Joey B gets his chip. Bengals beat Bucks in the Super Bowl. Let's make it happen. I had Bucks over Chargers originally.
So
I'm serious, by the way.
Where did you have? You had them at 5. So you think they're gonna make a run and just take?
I do. I think they're gonna make a run. Absolutely.
Wow. That is, I mean, highly unlikely.
I love this team.
Have you bet on that? What are the odds right now?
I probably should. I don't know.
Let me pull up the odds for you because if you really believe that, then I would like.
I actually have a really good feeling the Bengals are gonna make a crazy run.
They're playing such good plus ball. 1,800 right now, Ray. So you just throw in $10, you'll make 180.
Where's the Super Bowl odds?
I use Bet Online. I don't use Bovada, so I don't know.
Dude, yeah, I have a really good feeling, man.
I mean, I would take I took the Cowboys forever ago. Like at the beginning of the season, I took the Cowboys at like plus 3,500 or something.
They're plus 2,000 for me right now. The Bengals.
Take it. That's 20x.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Might as well throw $10 on that. I mean, if you really believe that, I mean,
dude, Brennan put like $300 on the Bengals winning the Super Bowl at the start of the season to win 75 grand.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's insane. Well, I mean, I kind of hope if they start streaking, I'm a cheer for them unless they're playing the Cowboys or something. But if they're playing the Packers, oh Lord, Bengals all day. But I'm excited, man. This should be a good playoffs. I'm in my new apartment in Houston. I'm gonna be watching this weekend, living life. I'm super excited for all this. You got anything else you want to say, Ray, before we?
Hey man, that was good. I feel complete. I'm ready to take a nap after these nursing classes all week.
Yes, sir. All right, well, thank you all so much for sticking around to the end. We appreciate y'all so much. We hope y'all enjoy the playoffs. We sure will. Make sure you follow our socials at Huddle Break on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And as always, thank you so much for taking a break from the huddle with us.